Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're your hosts, Lee and Michelle. Today is a Sunday. It is August 13th, 2017. This guy right here, Lee and I called it from day one. We were not exactly a fan. We were trying to be a little bit, give him a chance, but right off the bat, I didn't like him. Then he gets fired. Well, now that he's been fired, he still feels like he can speak as if he knows something. He was in there for like, what, 2.5 seconds?
Well, he's been in the White House, but as far as the front man, dude, he was in there for like
2.5 seconds. Yeah.
So, Scaramucci is one of those people who will schmooze you and talk. This is the elitist mentality.
Right.
If they need something from you, then they'll love you. And so,
we all know people like that in our personal lives.
This kind of video is about Breitbart and Steve Bannon and the voice of the people. Breitbart helped propel, Breitbart Judge Alex Jones helped propel Donald Trump into office.
Whether you want to believe it, admit it, whatever, or it's a fact. Without Breitbart and Alex Jones and media outlets like them, Trump would not be the president right now.
No, they were the only ones that were showing conservatives the good sides of Trump,
right.
Because the rest of us could see all the negative sides of Trump. And I got turned on to Breitbart. I started to see the truth in their articles. I get slammed for reading Breitbart articles or sourcing. Here's the thing, you guys, there's the mainstream media, and then there's everything else.
Right.
Breitbart, as far as good reporting, is at the top.
What gets me though is that it seems like it's a lot of our progressives on Facebook that really can't stand it when we use Breitbart, but yet they would be kind of okay if we used CNN.
Or Wall Street Journal, or New York Times, or something like that.
When Breitbart, as far as from a right-leaning standpoint, is far more fair, honest, truthful, whatever you want to call it, than Fox News or any other mainstream media conservative outlets.
Breitbart has actually called out Trump on a lot of the issues where he doesn't line up with what he said and how he was running.
And the American people.
So what does this have to do with Scaramucci? Well, Scaramucci, the title of this is Mooch on the Loose. I saw this video down here, and honestly, I'm going to just play this kind of like intro to let you know the propaganda that's happening right now. This is ABC, Anthony Scaramucci, live on Facebook. This is ABC. This is the mainstream of the mainstream, okay? So they're really excited. ABC's really excited to get Scaramucci on.
Because he's one of them.
I can't stomach watching him, so let me just tell you what this was kind of about.
You're not going to show them any of it?
I can't. I don't want to watch it
again.
We're
just about to.
No, I just gave them a piece of it so they can kind of get a feel for it.
Oh, okay.
Just a feel for it. I don't want to watch him again, because when he speaks,
cheaping out on you guys.
It's like Obama speaking. I can only handle it for a second to see what he's saying, and then I can't watch it again. So let me just tell you, he was asked...
We'll link to this so you can watch it yourself.
If you want to. He was asked about Steve Bannon and the Charlottesville fiasco that's happening right now and yesterday. And he was asked, is Steve Bannon a white supremacist? Is he a white nationalist? And Scaramucci sits back and he's like, well, I've never asked him, but I do think that it's reprehensible that he tolerates such views. Now, I don't believe that Breitbart tolerates in the least bit any white supremacist views. They have people from all over, all kinds of walks of life. They've got Arabs on there, they have Jews on there, they have Christians on there, they have atheists on there, they have black people, white people, they got all kind of reporters, right? Yes. Men, women. They are probably one of the most diverse. They're more diverse than Google, okay? And I like to read their articles because they are so diverse. Mm-hmm. And in this interview with Scaramucci, he really just throws Breitbart under the bus, who he had just had an interview with July 22nd saying that Breitbart reached the heart of Americans. And he is so two-faced.
It is, and that's exactly what Lee was talking about at the beginning. When it's going to be to your advantage and to your benefit, you talk up somebody.
Right.
And then as soon as they're no longer of use to you, then you're going to slam them behind their backs or in front of their faces or whatever. and go to the next person that's going to be of use to you.
Right. I think that Ivanka and Jared, I think that they play to both sides of the fence. I believe that they're loyal to Donald Trump.
Right.
I believe that they brought Steve Bannon on to help bring a base. Now, here's the question. I believe that Donald Trump came to believe the things that he was hearing and then he was espousing to us.
Right.
You know, when he's talking about building the wall, he knows, and you guys have to realize this. This was to reach a base, building the wall. We don't need a wall.
And what he's doing right now, or I should say, by untying the hands of the officials who are responsible for protecting our borders. ICE, their hands have been untied, and our borders are way more secure now than they were 6 months ago.
What's more effective is getting rid of sanctuary cities.
Right. That
doesn't cost any money whatsoever. When you crack down and enforce the laws that are actually already on the book. So you've got Sheriff Aparo, who he's being attacked for actually enforcing immigration laws. So what we need to do is just enforce the laws that are on the books. I get it. We do need to protect our border a lot more. The ICE officials and the border agents need to just be able to do their job.
He also found out that Obama's birth certificate. He's going to investigate Obama's birth certificate.
Well, which is another reason why they have it out for him. But here's the thing. Whether you believe in whatever, immigration, illegals, we have drugs that are coming across the border. And they are using this kind of highway in which to do it. And that is, in my opinion, the main reason why I want our borders secure.
And so my point is that Donald Trump heard that from the base. And the biggest thing he could say was build a wall. Well, we can actually build a philosophical wall, but whatever happens with the wall, these are things the people wanted. Now, what Mooch said about Breitbart, he says, as it relates to Breitbart, or what I call Bannon Bart, I think some of the stuff they talk about is worthwhile, has to do with the middle class movement, the lower middle class movement, that struggle. He knows nothing about struggle. I hate when, to be honest, I really hate when elitist people who have never had to work a day in their lives for anything talk about the middle or lower class struggle. The economic desperation that's going on. The other stuff, the nasty stuff that's on the website, I think is disgusting. Now, what nasty stuff he's referring to, we don't even know, because he doesn't even call it out.
Because he can't, because there isn't anything. He just people paint with a broad stroke, so you just believe them. You never go and check.
What is disconcerting about it is this narrative is notably similar to the one used by Joe Scarborough from MSNBC and Mika Brzezinski, themselves good friends with Jared Ivanka, the Jared and Ivanka faction, which includes Deputy National Security Advisor Dina Powell. Now, Mika says, I put her in there. I put her there. And Economic Advisor Gary Cohn asked if he believed Bannon Bart had an influence on President Trump's thinking. He would say, I would say no, that he's on his way out. Now, some of us would say, and would hear that, and we would say, wow, if Bannon goes, that's the last voice of reason in Trump's White House, because we know that a lot of the things that Trump was saying was coming from the people, and Bannon was literally taking, this is the voice of the people, this is the voice of Breitbart, Andrew Breitbart, what he was talking about, the deep state, and all the different things that Andrew Breitbart represented. And he created this wonderful news site that I actually appreciate. Do I not agree with him 100% on all things? But when it came to war on Syria, when it comes to the deep state, when it comes to McMaster, these are the people doing the digging, finding the information on Hillary Clinton. These are the people who are really investigating. They're investigating. They are the people who are finding news, and then InfoWars will report on it, or WorldNet Daily will report on it, or Drudge will source it. But these are the people on the ground actually writing articles, making it happen, doing the dirty work.
Well, nobody talks about the mysteriousness behind the death of Andrew Breitbart.
Right, exactly.
And so if you want to go the Seth Rich route, why you're not applying that to Breitbart, I don't understand.
Right. So, channeling Hillary Clinton's deplorables moment, attempting to force link between racialism and Breitbart News, Scaramucci continued, Steve Bannon is a great speechwriter. I could hear a lot of Steve Bannon's words in some of his speeches, but the overall sentiment of this nonsense over white nationalism, white supremacy, all this sort of nonsense, it is not really representative of America. It's not really representative of the American experiment or the ideals.
I would take that a step further, Mr. Scaramucci. It's not really representative of anyone that voted for Trump.
Right. He says, this has been one of the most forward-thinking, socially progressive societies in the world. It is a beacon of hope for the rest of mankind.
That's said socially progressive societies.
Right, right. And so this guy is a liberal to the core, and not a good kind of liberal. Like neoliberal, neocon liberal.
Yep.
This is not a guy that Trump wanted in. If
good news is, for those of you that may not know, he's gone. He is gone. He is not there anymore. Right. He was, like we said,
but now he has a voice, and now the mainstream media is picking up on it because they love what he's saying, and this should make you
question. It should, no, not just question. It should make you go, oh yeah,
question what he's saying.
Yes,
because ABC is saying, oh my gosh, let's get this guy on. I love what he's saying. And that's it, the end of that.
Bingo. No, I want to add though to this, because I don't think that you were fervent enough. I don't think that people like Alex Jones, even InfoWars, any conservative alternative media out there is hitting the desperation of what would happen if Steve Bannon goes. Scaramucci pretty much just said he's on his way out. You guys need to understand that everything that you wanted, everything that you thought that President Trump was going to do will be flushed down the toilet if Bannon goes, because there were so many people in there that Trump had as a solid base, and they have picked them off one by one by one by one by one. Steve Bannon is the last guy. When he goes, it's all over, and we will report on that. And so it is really important that you guys share these videos and get them to other stations like InfoWars. Get it, you know, whoever you can think of, send it to them and say, Bannon can't go. It'll all be over if Bannon goes.
And you know what though, I do, Patriot Galley mentioned something too. We have already won.
Yes.
And we don't even need Donald Trump.
Bingo.
They are shutting us down on Google. They're putting, when you Google crazy things like American family, or what's funny is if you Google white man, white family, all these black families come up. I'm not racist. When you Google great American scientists, there are all these, it's racially loaded to where all these black scientists
and women
come up that we've never even heard of, right? And when I was YouTubing Black Lives Terrorists, and like the first search result was Police Lives is a terrorist group. And so they've already told us that in the YouTube algorithms, what they're going to do is if you search for something that they don't like,
then they'll give you the
complete opposite in the search results. And if you find a video at the bottom, if you stumble across the video, if you get a link to a video, then they will play at the end of it one to unbrainwash you from a video that they think you need to be unbrainwashed from. Google's censoring. We can talk about that in another episode.
But your point is they wouldn't be going that hard at this sort of thing if they weren't feeling the pressure.
Exactly.
If we weren't winning.
So we are winning. I just want you guys to know we're winning. We just keep at it. Did we really think that draining the swamp was going to be that easy? We took back America in 2016. The voice of the people took it back. I don't care if you're progressive or if you're liberal or if you're right or if you're left or whatever you want to call yourself. You need a voice. We all need a voice. The people need a voice, not these crazy elites at the top telling everybody what they need to do. So,
all right, we're going to sign off here. This is Leah and Michelle for Resistance Chicks, where it is not just a conspiracy theory if it's the truth. Like, comment, subscribe to Mass Faith 3 and Resistance Chicks. Ring the bell for notifications. Find us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter. We love you guys. God loves you. God bless. I was called all alone. No place for